Well,
can I?
it's happened.
I'm gonna take the lead real quick on this, real quick. Okay, I'm a big Shannon Sharpe fan. Okay, when I worked at this manufacturing factory for like 6 months before I got my job, I was listening to Nightcap every morning. After they would go live the night before, and when I would listen to them, they had such great chemistry. Shannon Sharpe had a great mind of football. He still does. Great mind of basketball. Ocho brought the charisma and the it's a great podcast. And then he joined ESPN, which I thought was an okay move. I thought it was a good move under Stephen A, especially because he needed someone to kind of back him up a little bit. Even though that was kind of his rival as well on TV. They disagreed a lot, but you get to that level of ESPN Disney. Okay, they work under Disney. Everybody, I want everybody to understand that ESPN is Disney. You get to that level, you cannot mess up. You cannot. And the thing about Shannon, dude, is not even ESPN. He had $100 million podcast deal coming up, closing in on it. Before this suit even happened, in this public suit that even happened in April. I remember listening. He said, I've been working on something for us. We're gonna have a lot of money. We're gonna have, what I'm saying? They're gonna have a lot of stuff going on for them. Suddenly that drops. Now, you might call that weird. You might call that weird. The news gets out that he's closing in on $100 million contract for their podcast. And then suddenly this news drops that this girl our age, by the way, but I'm not defending him. It's very weird that he's 57 years old, 56 years old, trying to hunt down a 23-year-old. Very weird. But it's very interesting to me that news drops and suddenly these assault claims come out and he immediately dismisses them, saying this is not true and she's trying to fake it for money, which was true because that's exactly what happened. And it's just like,
now he getting accused of rape now too. That's what the big thing is now. So
right. So I'm like, Shannon. Now he had all the text messages. They're very freaky, very weird, and it seemed consensual. And it's just the fact that it ended that way. Like you paid her off to shut up, pretty much $23 million, maybe something like that. Like she posted on her OnlyFans, like I don't even retired. I'm free now. She literally played this man, lost him all his deals. He couldn't do the $100 million deal anymore. I'm pretty sure. The most messed up thing about this entire thing is that the Nightcap is under the podcast business called The Volume, and that's one with Colin Cowherd, John Middlecoff, which is another NFL scout, a few other people as well, and that ends in late August for Nightcap. And there's no word of if they're going to resign or be able to resign with them again, which would make sense because it makes The Volume a lot of money. So I'm pretty sure it's their biggest podcast. So it'd be kind of a loss on The Volume if they kind of let this go. But it's really hard to sit here and defend Shannon because it's like, bro, you're not supposed to be doing stuff like that, bro. I know she's an adult. You're 57. You should be looking for someone at most, at least I should say 45 years old, not 23 years old, just coming out of high school 5 years ago. It makes no sense. So the fact that he got caught up with that stuff, bro, it sucks. I thought he was going to win it, but ESPN, they don't play. And then he wanted the news to drop on Monday.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, rather than yesterday because his brother's getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. The first two brothers in the NFL Hall of Fame, by the way, which is a big deal. And he ruined it because of his actions. And ESPN, they don't bow down to anybody, bro, because they're, besides Disney, that's like the only people they bow down to. And when you work for Disney,
I couldn't say they don't probably even bow down to them. I think they're more like a partnership.
Right.
Think about that.
But anyone who works for ESPN, they have to make sure that they're like on point. I know this from people I work with at ESPN Milwaukee. They can't do certain stuff. They can't say certain. Obviously, it's radio, but it's just certain things outside of that you cannot do.
So, and that's with us too. I mean,
right. I mean,
Working with the
NBA is under Disney too,
Jazz,
damn near.
NBA teams, NFL teams, MLB teams, you can't really say stuff or like that. Even if you work in front office, even
Yeah,
if you work in, even if you work as a ticket salesman, you can't even you could be gone. Um, you work with the G League team, you could be gone. Minor league teams, you could be gone because it's a privilege to work for these organizations, and these
hmm
organizations don't play when it comes down to that. I wanted to address it by like, okay, I think you said you don't. I don't, did you say you feel sorry or didn't feel sorry for him?
I mean, I can't.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Like, I know there's people out there saying, "Oh, I feel sorry." You can't, bro,
23
because
years old, bro. Come on, man. And she
when you
OnlyFans model. What are you doing, bro?
when you have rape next to your name, and obviously, I know a lot of people who say that it's some people say they're lying. There's some people that say that. There's some people that go out there and be, oh well, they're making stuff up. And there's probably some people who do that,
She
but
probably
when it's
was. To be fair, she probably very much was. And her,
but
you know,
you putting yourself in situations like that. That's the problem with this. That's the problem with all of it. Even with Gilbert Arenas that we about to talk about. When you put yourself in y'all have millions. Y'all live
I'll
and
get to
make
that in a second.
millions.
Yeah,
Continuing to make millions. Why? It doesn't when you constantly keep this keeps going on and on and on and this is even happening with athletes. They get arrested, they doing drugs, they getting caught with. Why? Y'all have literally hit the lottery on life. Y'all have literally been blessed with the best life you could have, bro. And this is how y'all gonna go out. And we ain't gonna say it, and he's gonna probably still make millions off of his podcast. But it's the morals and it's the image that you're gonna have with your name now. You were just a glorified you a glorified professional Hall of Fame football player 5 years ago. You could even say 3 years ago, 2 years, even last year. And then that video came out where he was with Michelle, right? Now you get caught with that.
oh my god.
Now it's the OnlyFans model, right? And now it's rape. The problem is y'all keep putting yourself in spaces that y'all shouldn't be. And there's so much, and a lot of people go be like, "Oh, it's so much easier to say. It's so much easier to say it when
It's easy to do too.
when you don't make millions, bro."
And it
I
makes
work
sense.
for I work for the NBA. I'm not putting myself in situations that's gonna ruin my career. Like these are careers we're talking about here with people.
Too
It's
old to
a
be getting fired too.
privilege.
Yeah, they too old to be getting fired too, bro. If you think about it, like they should know better than we do.
Exactly. Y'all
30,
should be teaching us.
30 years older than us, going after somebody our age. That makes no sense to me. And then let's get to Gilbert Arenas too on this.
And we
So
go. Yeah, we about to start on Gilbert Arenas too.
his topic is weird. Gilbert Arenas was arrested Wednesday in connection with a federal indictment that alleges the former NBA star hosted illegal high stakes poker games at his mansion in Cinco, California, according to a release from the United States Attorney's Office, Central California. Arenas is officially charged with one count of conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, one count of operating an illegal gambling business, and one count of making false statements to federal investigators. Gilbert, if you are guilty of this, bro, let me look up something real quick. I'm gonna look up Gilbert Arenas career NBA earnings.
He's made almost like 100 something
Okay,
million.
it says Gilbert Arenas earned an estimated $163 million in his NBA career. This figure represents his total salary from the various teams he played for, including the Warriors, Wizards, and Orlando Magic. Despite the substantial earnings, Arenas' net worth is reportedly around $10 million, highlighting highlighting the financial challenges he faced during and after his playing career. He had notable contracts, by the way. $111 million, 6-year contract from the Wizards, all paid. At 62 million for 3 years with the Washington Wizards after the 111 million contract. So he got an extension, it looked like. Endorsements, $50 million in endorsement deals with Adidas. Post-career financial issues. While earning a significant amount, Arenas faced financial difficulties after his playing career, including
How?
legal issues and poor financial decisions. Net worth, despite the larger career earnings, his net worth is $10 million, which is still a lot of money, by the way.
$10 million. Some people don't. We won't even. Some of us in life. I'm not gonna say us. Not gonna say us too, because you never know where we can end up. We could be a director somewhere making 100,000 a year. So you never know. But a lot of people that live in them trenches, a lot of people that work regular 9 to 5 jobs at retail, a lot of people that work a lot of, and I'm not talking about the managers at these places. I'm talking about actual like store associates, uh, ran regular associates like myself because I work in retail at the time being because make more income,
Mm.
but though we make about somewhere around they make around 38 to maybe they make around like 35 to 40,000 the most a year, those kind of jobs, right?
Mm.
So a lot of those people won't end up seeing $10 million in their entire lifetime,
Right.
and you make and that's your net worth, meaning you make more than that. That's just your net worth. That's just you as a human being. That's how much you're worth. 10 million.
You got all the stuff that you have in your home and whatever cars or whatever is all worth up to $10 million. That's what net worth means.
Yep.
Everything he owns is worth $10 million. This is net worth. Now,
And how do you go broke off that? Because you're buying fancy cars, you're buying big expensive
bro,
houses.
I will never understand it, bro. I know I can never speak on this because I'm not to that level. I probably
Right?
never will be up to that level. It's considering how much money they make on a yearly basis. Maybe I will. I don't know. But $100 million, $111 million contract, 62 mil a year for 3 years, bro. What? I just I don't understand how on earth you are able to lose all that money and then on the side start a gambling business, bro. Rich people are greedy, bro, and
Yeah.
I respect it, but that is like not the way to do it. You can start up a whole podcast business with that money. He already
Actually,
has one.
Gilbert Arenas has a podcast, Gil's Arena,
Yeah, and it's doing pretty good.
doing really well.
Yeah, so he's making money off of that. Don't need to go gambling. I mean, you can gamble. Maybe you're not a part of a team no more. Maybe ESPN has some limitations on what you can do and what you cannot do. Maybe I don't know. I don't know all the inside information on that. But if
Yeah, he can go gamble and stuff and play cards or whatever.
but
He can do
starting
that.
an
That's
illegal
fine.
but starting an illegal poker business and he pretty much scamming people and getting off on millions of dollars probably. Would it be? His trial is set for September like 12th or something like that now. So he pled not guilty, and he's saying that he's not guilty at all. He paid it. He paid off his $50,000 bond to get out of here and to prepare for the trial coming up. But I'll never understand it, bro. Why do rich people want to do that? Why do old folks want to go? So young when they are so successful, they can just find a wife. Shannon Sharpe has like 3 kids, no wife. Could marry pretty much any woman around his age if he wanted to, like literally no hesitation. I don't understand what exactly people are even, you know, why would they even go that far to even ruin their career? It just makes no sense to me. So that's another story, bro. We can get into that in the final thoughts, bro. Maybe maybe
Yeah.
maybe I'll explain that a little bit.
But I feel like when they get that older, they want to feel that they want to live out their youth because they didn't have the opportunity to do that while they were playing. They were always training. They were always told to be here because I got to take photo shoots, community events, and stuff. That's not the. You still have an off season, bro. You have a life, an off season. Yeah, you still train in the off season, but it's nothing compared to what you do in a regular season. You have a life, bro. You play basketball for a living. You played football for a living. You played once a week.
Don't make no
Gilbert
sense.
probably played what 2 or 3 times a week.
Maybe 4.
Maybe for like how do you have no time to go do whatever you want? Because these situations is what you see and I'm trying to live out my youth. I'm trying to live out what I couldn't when I was playing.
Bro, he's 57.
You're 50, you're about to be 60. You should be on a golf course like
Having fun, bro.
have it for like Steph Curry and them. Do you see Steph Curry and stuff like this?
He happily married though, to be fair.
Happily married. That's
Sharp
what
could have
marriage
been
can do
happily
for you.
married, but he don't be, I don't know.
He don't be outside. He don't be in clubs. He don't be
Which
out
is good.
there gambling. I mean, yeah, he probably gambles, but he doesn't put himself in these certain kind of life. Look at LeBron.
He's one of the biggest LeBron fans and don't even follow LeBron. What LeBron do? I know he's younger and stuff, and I know
And I
he probably.
know there's like rumors out there talking about LeBron cheated on his wife. I don't see it. I don't see anything.
Yeah, he probably did eventually.
He
One at
probably
least.
did, probably because he's LeBron James, but he still has a wife at home. So apparently he did something. He didn't do something. If she's still there, remember she's a black woman. She ain't going for that.
Yeah.
Remember she already got the kids with him. So
Mhm.
why would she be still there if he cheating?
She got half of his. She got half of his income
Right?
too.
That's all I'm saying. She ain't going for that. So it's like this is what happened. Like they say, happy wife, happy life, right?
Shannon Sharp, man. I was rooting for him, dog. I was really like, hey, he didn't do none of this stuff. I believe
It's
he didn't do none.
disappointing. It's disappointing
But
when
he
you
paid
see
her
it.
off. He paid her off, and I was just like, yeah, bro, this is stupid, bro. Why would you do that? Now his whole image is tarnished. He could have went to trial. He could have went. Well, actually, I'm not. That's the thing too. If he went to trial, he probably would have lost. To be honest with you, that's the reason he did that.
What happens when you have messages, technology now?
I mean, the messages were consensual though. You could tell they were consensual. They went both ways. They were talking back and forth with each other. But the fact that she was like saying that he assaulted her and like, but she would like play along with it saying she liked it. I don't know, bro. She 23 million, never got to work a day in her life again. She got exactly what she wanted, bro. And Gilbert Arenas, I don't know what you about to do. Good luck in your trial, but bro, what rich people do not need to be having no gambling businesses, bro. I wholeheartedly believe that. It makes no sense, but well, we can leave it at that though.
Yeah, just very disappointing, very disheartening. Actually
People we
pisses
look
me
up
off
to in the
because
podcast world, bro. You know, it sucks, man.
you get paid to just talk about sports. Like, who can ask for a better life than that? You get paid millions of dollars to talk about sports. We're doing this for free. Like, it's very disappointing, very disheartening, and you know, one day somebody, hopefully somebody has a good image, but as it keeps turning out every time, like they said, like my pops said, looking up to athletes and stuff, those shouldn't be what you look up to because you want to be the kind of player they are with the money they have, but you don't want to be the person. So
Correct.
my pop says